Cool, so it's 11 a.m, so I'll get started. Thank you all so much for joining us. This is a new thing for us as well, and we're really excited to be able to chat to you a bit more about this. I know it may seem, I don't know, a little bit difficult to know exactly what's happened with this because it's all happened so quickly for us as well. But yeah, hopefully after this, for those of you who don't know much about personal music messages, you'll feel empowered and ready to go and get set up, and we can answer any questions that you have. And cool, so let's get started. So here's what I'll be running through today. So what are personal music messages? You might hear me call it PMM to save time, that's what I mean. What different genres and styles of messages can you do? Is it something you should start doing? Getting set up, marketing tools, how to deliver the videos, payment. We'll have a Q&A with Thom, who's one of the musicians who's been really successful with this so far, so he can tell you in his own words what that's been like for him and what to expect and top tips. And then we'll have time for questions at the end. So, what are personalised music messages? So I've said here, it's a way to connect musicians who can't perform gigs with customers craving connection and positivity by providing a quick and easy platform for customers to purchase a unique music video from you to celebrate a special occasion. So essentially what that means is we've enabled a way for customers to book a personal video from you. So some examples are birthday messages, anniversary songs, just videos of support. We've had some amazing stories from, people working in the NHS who've received these, people who are, separated from their parents. We had somebody whose parents have dementia in a nursing home, and receiving a song from them with the lyrics that they knew and can sing along to really made one of their birthdays. So it's all of that kind of thing. It's completely open to the customer as to what they want, but what we found is that people were really craving a way of kind of connecting with people and celebrating with people when they're not able to give gifts in person, and even I guess some delivery services aren't able to be delivering things at the moment. So yeah, a really nice way of doing something a bit positive for everybody. So essentially the format that it takes from you guys is you would upload your video onto a YouTube link that is then shared with the customer that they can share with the person that they're making this for. But we'll go into that in more detail. And I guess just to let you guys know a little bit more about how we came up with this as well. I think we'd pretty much just been put on lockdown. We were all working from home, and we obviously knew that you guys were suddenly A, cancelling lots of gigs, and B, not able to get out and earn money. So we sort of had a brainstorm and were like, what can we do to empower you guys to be making money from home, to be doing something that's really positive and uplifting, to give everyone a bit of hope through all of this. So yeah, it was probably 2 or 3 weeks ago that we came up with the initial idea. We rolled it out initially with a handful of musicians to see if it worked. And it's just been a really, really amazing thing to be a part of, and customers absolutely love it. It's really, been, I've had people say they've been like crying, and people have just been really, really thrilled to receive these videos. So yeah, it's doing a lot of good. Money also is raised for the NHS when everyone buys a video as well. So it's kind of positive all round. And we've had musicians who said, they were sort of sat at home, not really doing anything, not making any money. And then we're earning about 80 to 90 pounds a day doing this, which is just fantastic for us. And that's exactly what we want to be helping you guys do at the moment. So different genres and styles. So I've listed a few here. So it obviously is a natural fit for singers. So singing pianists, singing guitarists, multi-layered videos. By that, I mean, we have a few people, definitely more tech savvy than I am, who record different kind of harmonies and edit that together. So it's kind of like a virtual group, which is really amazing. But also classical instrumentalists, instrumental groups, so classical singers as well. Basically, as I've said at the bottom here, you can control how you market yourself. So you, as part of this process, should make an example video, and also optionally, but we do recommend a kind of explainer video of you just telling people what you can do. And then you can tell people exactly what it is that they're going to get from you, so that they'll be delighted with what they end up receiving. So let's say, so I'm a cellist, for example. I would probably go out to my previous customers and to my social media following and say, look, if I played at your wedding, or if, all these events you've performed at, I'm very happy to do a rendition of your first dance song, or, something that's really special to people. And a lot of people, really love classical music and would love to receive, you know, a classical aria, or you know, we have a saxophonist, I've put a picture there, you know, improvising over someone's favorite track, and all of this sort of thing. So whatever it is that you specialize in, you can absolutely do, and it's open. The only way that the customer's going to know what they're buying is the example that you put together. So the ball's completely in your court, and it's definitely worth doing for all different kinds of musicians. So should I start doing personalised music messages? So I would say, if you have some time to spare at the moment, if you would like to earn some money creating music from home, and you have at least a good mobile phone you can record on, it doesn't need to be more technical than that, and a laptop or a computer, something to be able to upload your video to YouTube, that's all you need, then I'd say it's absolutely worth doing. So far we've paid out just over £3,000 to musicians already. That's just in the last couple of weeks, and really with a handful of musicians, I think maybe 20 or so have sort of properly got going with this. So it really is a great way to be making some money from home if it's something that you think you really enjoy doing, and that your kind of customers and friends and family might also enjoy as well. So getting set up. A lot of people, when you signed up for this workshop, weren't sure where to find the booking link, the URL. So this is a really big part of the product. It's basically the way that the customer is going to be able to book your video. So everyone has a unique one. You can see, hopefully in this presentation, I don't know if you can see my mouse or not, on the right-hand side, there's a little new personalised music messages box that appears on your dashboard. So if you're logged into your Encore account, you can click through there and you'll be able to see your link there. But essentially, it's just your profile URL with /gift at the end. So if you're online and you view your profile as the public, so let's say mine is encoremusicians.com/Chiara, I would just put /gift, and that will be my URL. So you can just do that yourself, just make a note of it. Also in the packages part of your profile, there's a button there where you can buy it as well. So if you click that, again, you'll see the URL. But /gift is all that you need to remember, and just let us know if you're having trouble finding that. Then, so obviously to sell yourself for this service, you'll need an explainer video and an example video. So I've put two screenshots here, and we've got a blog post, the link is at the bottom here. We'll send all of this to you after this so you can look through those materials. There's me doing an explainer video, so you essentially just sort of set yourself up and tell people what it is that they can expect for you. We've got an example script that you can use. You're basically just saying, hi, I'm Chiara, I'm really happy to do this. This is the kind of music I perform, this is my piano, or this is my guitar, and click this link to be able to book me. We find that's a really useful tool to have to go out to your customers, to go out on social media so people understand what they're getting from the service, and then having at least one example clip of you doing one, if maybe you know someone who might enjoy one, or if not, you can sort of make up a situation and record a song that you really like and you're really comfortable doing as well, so that your customers know exactly what to expect and what to buy. And there's this sort of YouTube sort of screenshot you can see on this page of Claudia, that's our designer. She's also made a really helpful video about how to film this yourself. So as I've said, you literally just need to have a phone. If you've got something better, that's great, but it does work well just on like an iPhone, or I've got a Google Pixel that works really well. If you have a tripod, or I know I've got this sort of lazy arm that can hold my phone in place, that's perfect. If not, be creative and find something to prop it up. But she goes into a lot more detail on that video that we'll share with you about the best way to sort of make your setup look good. And then the third point here, so opting in on the website. So again, this sort of image that you can see on the right-hand side of my screen, that icon on the dashboard will allow you to upload your explainer video and your example video so that we can see it. That means that, well, firstly, we know that you're sort of signed up to do the service. At the moment, we have a homepage for this service, and it's a little bit manual at the moment. Obviously, it's still a fairly new system, so we're building as quickly as we can as we go. So at the moment on that page are the musicians who've had the most bookings so far, and we're manually updating that, but we hope to be able to build in a much more comprehensive browsing system, so that enables us to just know the content that you have so that we can build you into that as well. So yeah, the main things for getting set up: record an example video, record an explainer video, know what your unique booking link is, and then opt in on the website so we know that you're there and we can help you as well. Marketing tools. So this is what we found to be the most effective so far from the musicians who've had the most success with this. So reaching out to your networks and previous customers. So you'll want to use, some of you may have a mailing list already, or maybe a database of your previous customers. Obviously you can see your previous customers that you've had through Encore as well to be able to pull those off. Again, we've got templates on that blog post that you can just copy and use that explains the service, tells them how to book and that sort of thing. And then we would suggest also on social media, doing a post, you might want to use either an explainer video or an example video. And we can hear more from Tom about how he's done this, because he's done this really successfully. And then direct messaging and WhatsApping people is hugely successful. They feel like it's a personal touch. They're more likely to then share it with their friends and family, and it kind of builds in this way. So the customer types that we're seeing are primarily your previous customers. So someone's going to be much more likely to want to buy a video from somebody who had a part to play in some kind of important day in their lives already. So whether it was just that you maybe played at a party for them, or if you were involved in their wedding some way, that's going to be a really special and treasured gift for somebody to have from you. So previous customers, super fans, if you've got people that follow you on social media, or big supporters of yours over the years, those kinds of people are great. We've seen a lot of them buying multiple videos. They love them so much, they'll come back and buy more and more, share it with their friends and family. So it spreads that way. Social media followers, and then friends and family to spread the word. The third point here, make it easy to rebuy. This is really key. What we want to happen is that you make a video, it's amazing, the person absolutely loves it, then they're thinking, oh, I bet so-and-so would love this kind of video, or maybe that person received the clip from you, wants to buy one themselves, that sort of thing. So it needs to be really, really obvious where they can rebook a video from you. So I go into this a little bit more later on, but essentially that URL, so your profile link with /gift on the end, where people can buy your video, you'll want to include that pretty much everywhere you can. So anytime you post about it, anytime you do maybe an Instagram story about it, all of that sort of thing, make sure that link is in there. And in the description where you upload your video as well, put it in there so that when someone's watching the video, the natural next step is to click that and book another one. And that will help the sort of natural virality of it. And then obviously we're trying to do our bit as well. So as I've said, this is really, really new for us too. We've been doing lots of PR around this already, trying to get people to come to the site and learn more about it, which has been really, really exciting. You'll see a few things there. We've been in the Times and Forbes and BBC, which is been absolutely fantastic. So we're doing our best to bring people to the site, to be browsing musicians, and to book them that way as well. But it's worth saying at this stage, primarily the people that are going to be buying the videos are people that you will be connected to. So we very much encourage you to be empowered to go out to your networks and market it that way. And of course, we'll be doing our bit to make sure we can support you as well. So delivering the video, I'll just run through this nice and quickly. So you'll receive a request by email. It'll look a bit like this example here on the left. Then you'll want to record your video. So that's a little picture of Claudia, who is recording one. She's the designer on our team. A few pitfalls just to avoid when you are filming. You'll want to film, Johnny, I think you added this slide and you meant to say horizontal landscape rather than portrait?
So these are all mistakes. So I just thought I'd add this in because they're things that I've come across that musicians have been doing, which aren't so good when making these videos. So one thing you need to avoid is filming in portrait. I know it's really easy to do because you usually hold your phone up in a portrait orientation. If you film in this way, it means that when you publish your video on YouTube or Vimeo, there are these big black bars either side. So make sure you always film your videos in landscape, holding your phone or iPad horizontally. Filming angle, this is really important. Try to make sure you always film at head height rather than putting your phone down on your laptop or on a table. It's much more flattering in general if you just, and engaging if you have the camera at head height. So make sure you do that. Also, try to make sure you film near a window so you get natural lighting. It doesn't look good if you're filming a video in low lighting. So aim to probably do it during the morning or afternoon. And also blue halogen lighting doesn't look so professional either. And then finally, try to make sure when you're filming there isn't anything in the background that's distracting. So tidy your room, put up something in the background, maybe a candle or a plant, something that looks aesthetically pleasing, and aim to make sure it's a really nicely composed shot. I don't know if this stage, Chiara, you wanted to actually show a video. I'm aware we haven't actually shown a video.
I was slightly concerned about being able to play something through my screen that might just sound glitchy. So I've got a list of example clips, which I'll email through to everyone after this. I think that's probably going to be the best way of everyone being able to watch it without it kind of jinxing, if that works.
Sure.
Cool. Cool. So then, so you've recorded your video, and then you will want to upload it. Before you do that, you may want to edit it. I know some people are comfortable using video editing software. If you are, that's great. You might want to do a nice fade in, a nice fade out. Usually the way the video will be structured is you'll start off by saying, "Hi, Chiara, thanks so much for requesting this video message for blah. We hope you really enjoy it. Anything else they've mentioned they'd like you to say," and then you'll go into the performance. So you might want to do a fade in and fade out at the end. Johnny has also put together this, so as you can see on this slide, this sort of end page that again helps with that virality aspect, helps people to know where to book you again. And so once you get your first booking, Johnny will send this over to you so you can add this at the end of your video. If you're not comfortable with online tools for editing, or you don't have something already on your computer, I've just put a link below to one that's free, that's really simple to upload a video to, and then sort of add another page at the end online. That's one I've used. So you're welcome to try that one out if you like. And then to deliver the video, you want to upload it to a YouTube link. An unlisted link is best. It means that the customer can see it, anyone with the link can see it, but it's not searchable online. So some of them are quite private, for example, and they might not want that to be public. So if you don't have a YouTube account, very easy to just get signed up. It doesn't cost anything. You'll see that sort of icon that I've put on the left there, and you just follow that through to upload the clip. It should be nice and straightforward. And then this is the email you will have got when you receive the request. So this has all the details in it, and that green submit video button is how you send the video to the customer. You click that, and then there's a space to put the link in and to put any message that you want to accompany it. We then send that on to the customer. We ask them if they want to tip you, and ask them for feedback and all of that sort of thing. Payment. So the basic price is £15, so that's £10 to you guys, £2.50 to us, and £2.50 to the NHS. We came up with this price based on a lot of customer research. We sort of all went out to everyone we knew and had lots of phone calls right at the beginning of this to suss out what people were going to spend on this kind of thing. And this was the sweet spot. It's essentially the sort of amount people are likely to spend on a gift. It's not so much that it's prohibitive. I think obviously we would want musicians to be paid as much as possible for this, but realistically, customers are only going to pay a certain amount of money for something that is done digitally. Having said that, we can adjust this base price for you, and we definitely do want to look at building in kind of tiered pricing if you offer different kinds of services. So for example, there's a musician called Max, who you'll see on the homepage if you go there, who's doing these amazing videos with himself sort of performing like different layers of the tracks and edited together, and that obviously takes a lot longer than just recording a song. So in that kind of case, you may want to raise that base price. But yeah, just be aware that that price we did come up with based on chatting to a lot of customers and seeing what people are realistically happy to spend on this sort of thing. And once you get up and running, it's also very quick to do the videos in general. If you know the song already, for example, I think had a conversation with a musician who said to begin with it maybe took an hour or so, but actually you can kind of whip them out quite quickly once you get used to doing them. But yeah, we can change that pricing if it doesn't work for you. Obviously we want everyone to be comfortable and have power over that, so just drop us an email if you would want to change that price point. In terms of timeline, we charge the card 24 hours after you've delivered that video. It just gives the customer time to add a tip before we charge their card. So in general, most customers are leaving tips. Some of them have left like up to £50 in tips. So people are really, really generous. So actually the take home does end up being a lot more than £10, because lots of people do put those tips in when they really, really love the clips that they receive. And we've done our best through the kind of wording and follow-up emails to encourage people to do that as much as possible as well. And the full tip will go to you guys. So 100% of that goes to the musician. And then we use the same payment provider like we do for Encore Pay. So I think it can take up to 5 days for that amount to actually show in your account. Cool. I've definitely spoken enough. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and we've got Thom here. So let me just find Thom, and I'm going to make Thom a panelist, and then we can just have a quick chat. There we go. I think you're listed as Daisy Brown, but I'm informed it is Thom. Hey.
I've been promoted.
You've been promoted. Hi, Thom. Let me just get up my questions for you. So, for those who don't know Thom, he's one of the singing guitarists on Encore, and you've had huge success doing this so far. I was just looking. I think you've had maybe 60 videos, or maybe
I
even
think
more
it's
than that.
around 60 now, which is crazy. I've been busy over the last couple of weeks.
I bet. Amazing. So yeah, I've got, I guess, a few questions we can just run through so you can tell people a bit more about your experience with it. So firstly, what's the kind of setup that you have at home, and how are you recording the videos?
Well, I can kind of show you actually, because I'm sat exactly where I do it.
Please do.
So this is I sort of sit on this purple sofa here, and I have the camera propped on this little coffee table. I have a little GoPro that I use, and it actually has really good sound on it as well, which has been useful. So I assessed the lighting situation, and I've found that, as you can see now, actually this is quite a good example. That's a bit much, isn't it, in the background? So I've been doing it with that curtain down, and then some nice, the natural light coming through this front window on my face. And yeah, I've just been propping the GoPro, it sounds super amateur, but just on a pile of books, to raise it up to head height, and then I'm able to press record, do takes until I get it right, and then upload it onto the computer. That's cool. Really as simple as that.
Amazing. And what's I guess what kind of requests have you got primarily, and are there any like particular favourites that you've had so far you've enjoyed doing?
I mean, I've been doing some requests where they want me to have fun with the lyrics, and they give me loads of information about the friend or family member that they are sending the video to. And I can have fun being creative with the lyrics and just make something a bit silly, really. So I really enjoy doing that. Obviously a little bit more time consuming than doing a cover that I already know. But they tend to be, it's been quite varied. So it's nice to have a bit of a mix. Somewhere I just play a song that I already know, like, do you know a Beatles song, can you play that? Others where I can get stuck in and have a bit of fun.
Cool. And how long, so you mentioned there's obviously different times involved for the different kinds of videos. How long would you say it's taking you, like on average, once you got up and running?
On average, I would say on average, about half an hour a song.
Cool.
Like it has taken me longer than that, and it has taken me less time than that. Some I've done in one take, like with knowing the song already, and I can just press record and do it. Others, that could take 10 minutes in total, like with uploading and things. Others, yeah, I've probably spent like an hour, maybe slightly longer on.
Brilliant.
Really variable.
And what have you found to be the best kind of like marketing channels so far? If you have a sense of like where the requests have been coming from, has it been primarily like emailing people, social media, or if you have a sense of how it's been spreading, what's been most successful for you?
I think it was messaging people directly. I've noticed now I had a lot of friends and family to start with, which was great as well. But I'm noticing that their friends and family have been requesting songs, so I can see that the web has widened, cool. Which is great.
And you've been including your link in all of your communications, haven't you? And like under the videos and everything like that.
Yeah, even in my emails, I've been popping it on as a PS. I'm doing this thing, by the way.
Ah, perfect. That's a really good idea, actually. Maybe adding it to your email signature if that's something that you use, and everyone sees it. That's really cool. And oh yeah, I was going to ask, so how often have you been kind of like doing a promotional push? Like if you are sort of like putting posts on social media, how often have you been doing that?
Well, so I've actually only done messaging people once, and that was when I first started. Then I've been popping some of the videos on my Instagram story. That's kind of a way of people just sort of seeing it, advertising without feeling like you're selling something, I think. I'm probably I'm ready to do another messaging push. I think I was a little bit selective with the people I was messaging at the start, and then when I got like 30 requests in the first sort of 48 hours, I was like, okay, I need to slow down because I'm not gonna to do all these.
Yeah.
So I held off contacting some people actually, but so which was great.
So it might even be worth, if you're about to get going with this, maybe doing it in stages. Maybe you do sort of like a blanket post on social media, and then wait a day or so, and then start messaging and that kind of thing, so you're not overwhelmed.
Exactly, because I was having to really prioritize which videos I was doing, and just reordering them so that obviously someone's birthday in 2 days' time, I should probably get that done rather than. And some people just said, there's no rush for this one, so I can just put that to the back of the queue, and they were quite happy.
And you've probably seen actually an update we've made in the last couple of days is we will now give you the customer's email address on the confirmation email, so that if you are overwhelmed or if you have a question, like if something's not clear, you have a way of reaching out to them, so you can kind of just chat to them as much as you need to, which
that's really useful.
Great, that's been really helpful. Is there any other like general advice you would give to people about to do this and getting started?
I think I've just been really trying to just enjoy it, and I think the more fun you have making the video, the more fun people will have watching the video.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time, Tom. I'm sadly now going to demote you, so you're
no problem.
back to an attendee. Do that now. There we go.
Do you think we could show one of Tom's videos, Chiara, even if it's only a little, like if it's only poor quality? I think it'd be useful just because they're really good.
Yeah, they are amazing. Let me.
I just sent you a link with one of them.
Oh, you did? Where did you send the link? Because I've closed most of my...
In chat, in the Zoom chat.
Ah, amazing. Okay, let me see if we can do that. Cool. So I'm going to try and do that by sharing my screen, and we'll see how the quality is. If the quality is awful, then apologies, and we will send this to everyone as a follow-up as well.
Savannah, Hannah, Danny, Ashley. Hope you're all right there in South Africa. This is a special music message from your friend Alex here in London.
Sorry, you can all probably hear the audio, but I haven't shared my screen yet. It's not very helpful. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen again now. Cool. Can you see that, Johnny?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. I'll just put my volume up, and hopefully you guys can hear this. And if not, we'll.
So this was a personalised music message that Tom made, I think, for some doctors down in South Africa that are helping treat COVID patients at the moment.
Okay, here we go.
Savannah, Hannah, Danny, Ashley. Hope you're all right there in South Africa. This is a special music message from your friend Alex here in London. It's not a pretty one. How are you gonna help me with my corona? Where's the equipment gone? Where's it gone? You need pep for my corona. Come on now and help me out. It's a dirty virus. Can you help me now? My corona. My corona. Come a little closer now. Close enough to intubate my corona. You're good to me. Tell me, why can't I have lime in my corona? So can you help me now? It's a dirty virus. Can you help me out? My corona. My corona. My corona. Corona.
Amazing. How was the audio? Were you able to hear that? Okay.
Yeah, it was okay. Obviously, it would be better if you check out the videos on the homepage on your own computer. But yeah, I just thought it'd be helpful to show that because you can see what Tom was talking about, the fact that he's got natural lighting on his face, filming at head height. He's also changed up some of the lyrics. Obviously, that was My Sharona, changed to My Corona. And he had a lot of energy as well when he was performing, which I think is one thing to remember. Even if you don't have people in front of you, even if you don't have that adrenaline running through you that you do when you're performing live, you have to give a lot to really sell the videos. So I just thought that would be a helpful example to show Tom in action.
Thanks so much for sending that one through. Cool. So it's past. So let's get going with some Q&A stuff. I believe. Oh, it looks like lots have been answered. Brilliant. I can see Joel's been busy replying to your questions as we've gone. Thank you so much for that, Joel. That's brilliant. So if you have any questions, you should see a Q&A sort of button. I don't know if I'm pointing at the right place, at the bottom of the screen. So feel free to drop your questions in there, and then we can answer those questions live. Let's have a look at what we've got so far. Are there any rights issues with covers, or is it okay to be private? So I'll answer that question. It's actually something that we want to look into in more detail, just to double check that we are covered. But it's our understanding that because it's a private link and it's not being used anywhere. So, for example, we had a customer who wanted to do something which would kind of advertise for his brand, and we just made him aware that he would need to get any kind of rights for that song organised in the same way you would for any normal advert. But other than that, it's generally just clips going on an unlisted link and being shared just with one person. So yeah, we'll be checking into it thoroughly, but yeah, it's our understanding that there's no issue when it's just shared in that way. Okay, and then we've got a question from Claire. How do I ensure the YouTube video is private and not seen by the public? Is there a setting I need to find? So yes, so when you go on YouTube and you click upload a video, I think it gives you 3 options. It's been a while since I've done it, but you can either have it public, which means it's searchable, browsable, anyone can see it. Unlisted, which means you can only view it when you have that link, and that's the one that you want. I think there might be another option for it just not being able to be seen by anybody. But unlisted is the option that you want to select, and it just means that you can send that link, the customer can see it, but nobody else will. A question from Patrick here. So will customers be able to find you on the Encore website instead of having to share the link on social media and Instagram? So yeah, so as I said on the marketing slide, it's something that we are building. Realistically, at the moment, we have some traffic to that page from the kind of PR stuff we've done, and we are doing marketing ourselves. But what we're seeing being much more successful at the moment is people who have some kind of connection to you already wanting to buy the clip from you. So while we will have people coming to the site and they'll be browsing, as I say, at the moment we've got a web page where we're manually adding the people who are getting the most bookings on there so that they're visible, and we should have a browsing function a bit later on. But to be completely honest, at this point in time, I wouldn't say that that's going to be a way of you getting lots and lots of requests at the moment. You're much more likely to be successful, as we've seen from people like Tom, going out to your kind of networks and marketing it that way as well. That makes sense.
Patrick, is there, if you could maybe type a reply, we might be able to see it, but is there anything?
I can add Patrick to, let me see if I can let Patrick talk. If you don't mind, Patrick. Okay. Okay, Patrick, you should be able to chat to us now. Can you try?
Yeah, hello.
Hey, hi.
Hey, Patrick. So yeah, I just want to ask, is there anything that would, and to be very honest as well, is there anything that would make you feel uncomfortable about going to your previous clients or friends, family, and telling them about you offering the service? Is there something that would make you not want to do that? And it's answer honestly about that, because it'd be interesting to hear.
No, not at all, because I was just wondering, as well as sharing it over social media, if people that go on the Encore website would be able to just like search for like someone like me to do the personal music message. So I think that would be an addition to like me having to share the link like over Instagram and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So to just to build on what Chiara said as an answer to that then, is as we continue, because it's very early stages as well, but as we continue to build it out, we'll look at different ways we can promote it, market it to, all of the clients that come through to Encore. We've been doing various PR and press things last week. I mean, this idea was written about in the Times this week, for example. So there's more awareness coming to it, and we might look at partnerships as well. So ways we can further amplify and share the musical service and build out the user journey as well on the site, so that customers coming in without a pre-existing relationship with a musician can curate and find the right type of musician for them for this. So that will be something that will get better as we go. Right now, the most success certainly comes through being effective with the communication to your previous clients and friends and family. And we've seen dozens of musicians sign up and get a few videos. But we've seen a handful of musicians get 50, 60, 70 videos. And the difference there has been, yes, posting the social links, and we've got templates to help with this as well, but sending social links, sending the emails, but then also doing personal follow-ups as well. And just, it's not being overly salesy. It's just been like, hey, this is something that we thought is quite, novel of the lockdown moment, and loads of people seem to be requesting it, so I thought you might be interested. See what you think, and please feel free to share. And it's amazing the success that can come from that, and even the success that can come from a friend or family member then telling their friend or family member. So many videos come through that method.
Oh, okay, yeah, perfect. Thank you for answering the question.
No worries, Patrick.
There are a few questions that have come in about pricing. Philippe Thon Flop, who I believe is Max, who's someone who's been booked already, is asking when layered pricing will be available. And Lena was also asking whether it's possible to add £20 extra for learning a new song. So this is something we'd like to add probably within the next few weeks, but it's dependent upon how much time we have available. We want to allow you to add different pricing levels for things like composing new lyrics, composing new aspects of the song. At the moment, it is just a single price, but yeah, this should be coming, I would say, within the next month or so, dependent upon how busy our tech people are. Yeah, I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Chiara.
Yeah, just to say, obviously for people like Max, who's asked this question, who's done that kind of like multi-layered video, something like that's obviously taking a lot longer than just recording one clip. So for people like that, do get in touch with us and we can change the base price for you. We obviously don't want people doing hours and hours and hours of work for £10. That's definitely not what we want. But yeah, in the ideal situation, we've got that kind of tiered pricing. People can see the different examples. It'd be much more easier for them to select options and be inspired. But yeah, we're just I guess trying to move as quickly as we can with the resources that we've got on the team. So yeah, bear with us a couple more weeks on that.
Just to add to that as well, the way we've been, because it's been a really challenging point for us on the team to think about how to approach pricing, because on one hand there's the realistic commercial viewpoint of it's a tough time for lots of people financially. People have never done this before, so how do you introduce them to something they've never done before, don't know what to expect, at a time where people are more worried about how they're spending their money? So the price point is really important, but at the same time, we're all musicians on the team at Encore, and we really advocate for musicians getting the right amounts of money for things. So it's been a really challenging thing to get the right balance there. The answer is we don't know the perfect way yet. The way we've approached it is to do a lot of surveying, lots of customer interviews, and lots of testing to see, well, what's working, what isn't. The tipping has actually been pretty successful so far. So we've seen tips on various videos being 20, 30, sometimes £40 for a video. It's really interesting that, and I'm personally currently going through and interviewing like 30 to 40 customers at the moment, and getting through the first 5 or 6 the other day, it was interesting. There was one client who works for healthcare at home, and she did something for a bunch of her nurses, and she rewrote lyrics, so it took a bit more time for the musician. She was so delighted with the result that she did tip about £30, I think, to the video. But when I asked her, you know, so you spent about £45 in total, would you have paid that at the start? She was like, yeah, I think I would have. But I was like, okay, would you have actually put your card details in? She wouldn't have. So, I mean, that's just one example, but we're still trying to figure out the best way, you know, whether it's through add-ons for different services, but being able to really clearly show what these different services are, whether it's tipping. We're still trying to work that out, but it's really important that we do try and balance this with a way that allows the customer to actually try it and get to know it, and not just be turned off straight away. And I've spoken to a lot of customers as well, where there's almost this magic point of a starting price being around the £20 bits. As soon as you get to that, people have to think more about the purchase, whereas below that, they don't really think about the purchase. So that's almost like the magic point for something like this. So we're still working out as we go. And again, just to be really clear, like, we massively care about how much musicians are earning as well. So we really want to make sure we try and get that balance. And the key thing I've said on some of these Q&A answers is just try and set yourself up in a way where you're not over servicing as well. And that doesn't mean not giving something that's really good quality, but as you've seen with Tom's examples, they're creative, they're fun, and people really, really enjoy them because they love the sentiment and they love the creativity. It's not necessarily about having studio level recording. What you do on your phone is just fine. So it's trying to find a really efficient way of delivering these videos as well. And I'll continue, stop waffling now.
No, that's really helpful. Thanks, Joel. There's a few more questions here that I'll whip through. Maybe we'll do like 3 or 4 more. So Robert has said, will customers be able to download their video, or will it remain on YouTube for them unless removed? So yeah, at the moment they just get that YouTube link that they can share. But a couple of customers ask if they can have a download if they're using it for something in particular, but they would write to you about that in that instance. Again, this may be something that we change in the next few weeks if customers do find they prefer to maybe have a direct upload if they do want to share it on social media, but at the moment they just get it on that YouTube link. Lena has asked, are the clients aware that we might use their videos for marketing, or do we need to do some kind of disclaimer? So we've built that in already, so there's a checkbox when the customer goes through on the checkout to say whether or not they're happy for the clip to be used on social media. I'll actually double check whether that's something that is visible to you guys as well, because I know that would be really helpful. But certainly from our side, we wouldn't want to share anyone's personal stories without them knowing about it. So we do have that already. I guess most of the requests you're probably going to get from people that you know, in which case I think you'll have a sense of whether they're happy for it to maybe go on your socials or not. But yeah, I'll ask if we can also make that visible to you guys so that you can be sure. But I would suggest when you're making your example clip to make that for somebody that's definitely going to be happy to have it shared, or even it's a fake version, maybe do a couple of fake versions so you have some material that you can go to without having to worry about that as well. Dave, let's answer this one. So I haven't used Facebook or much other social media for a long time. If I start using it now, people might think I'm trying to make money from them. Yeah, of course, everyone's going to use their like online platform and network in different ways. So do whatever you feel comfortable with. I think the thing that's really, really nice about these clips is that it's not only obviously money for you guys and helping support you guys, but there's also the charitable aspect of the money going towards the NHS. So although, yes, I know some people may feel a bit uncomfortable asking people for money, I think you can definitely kind of emphasize the charitable nature of it as well. And maybe if Facebook doesn't feel like the right place for you, then go with more of the direct messaging, people you're regularly in touch with, asking them to share it around. Or if you've got a mailing list or something like that, then that might be the best approach for you. And make sure that you sort of register with us on the site from your dashboard as well, so that when we build in that browsing, people can find you that way as well.
I just want to add to that, actually, that it's really important to remember with this that when you're going out to your previous clients, friends, family, these aren't strangers. These are people that value you, particularly your friends, family are huge evangelists of what you do. Clients are people that have booked you for some of the most important experiences in their life. Like you have a big role in some of their most important memories. This service isn't something. It's not asking for charity. The client and the recipient get more from it than you do. So you really are offering something that so far people have genuinely, overwhelmingly loved. one of the best ways of going out to people as well, now that we do have more press articles and things like that, it might be even worth, maybe we should follow up on an email and share all the, I think we've listed some anyway, but we'll share all of our press info, because it might be that you want to just share one of those, and then within that you can mention, I'm now offering this as well, like here's my explain the video, and you can do it in a way which is very much like, look, check it out, make your own mind. And think what you'll find is lots of people think, oh, that's a really, really good idea, and then you'll find a subset of those people that have, you know, an event coming up, like someone's birthday, or there's an anniversary, or they just think, you know what, this would be a bit of fun to send someone, one of my friends, family members, and they'll take you up on it. So that's how I think about it. Remember, this is something that really, people love the idea genuinely. The press talking about it like it's something where you're actually adding value. It's not as much asking for something.
Yeah, that's a really great point. I can just see there's a question, sorry, this isn't actually in the Q&A, but somebody saying that they use backing tracks, and that on the landing page they've seen that there hasn't been a category for singers. I wanted to add a category for singers, but at the time when we were updating that, which was probably a few days ago, maybe a week ago, I didn't actually have enough examples. So yes, we absolutely do want to do that then, and then we can add that on as a category as well. I'm wary that we've already been doing this for maybe 50 minutes or so.
Chiara, sorry, I just wanted to, I saw that somebody's posted twice anonymously asking about saying they're a classical musician, they don't have a social media profile or a mailing list. Is there still a way to make this viable? So I actually think that this person has touched on something that I've identified in my conversations with musicians has been a bit of a blocker. So I know that a lot of musicians, most of them I've spoke to so far, often don't have previous client info stored like on a CRM system, like what we'd use as a business, or even, you know, as a spreadsheet. And the reasons for that are often that a customer might be a one-time booking, and you know, there's a few repeat ones, and you're familiar with each other, and you keep on email. So one of the challenges here has been that a lot of musicians, they've basically got previous client details buried somewhere in the Gmail. So what I'd recommend doing for musicians that haven't got it, and it is quite an arduous task, and I'll share a template so you only have to do it once and you capture all the right info, but it is really worth taking a few hours, because unfortunately that's how long it can take, to go through your emails and just get people's full name, their first name, email address, the type of event you performed at, the date of what that event was. You want all of that at the very minimum in the spreadsheet, and you want to keep getting that as you go forward, because this is extremely valuable stuff for you as your own business, and it is arduous to collate all this stuff if you haven't done that already, but it is so worthwhile, and you will reap the benefits even just on this, but in generally as well, it'll just be really, really good housekeeping. But yeah, lots of people have had that issue, but I really encourage you to, if you can find the time, get all of this stored in a spreadsheet, and I'll send you an example template as well, so you don't go through the process and be like, I forgot to get the event date. But yeah.
Cool. So just to wrap this up then, I guess you guys have probably been keeping some notes and things. So we'll be sharing a recording of this, the different resources that we mentioned, so the blog post, some more details on marketing, some example videos, all of that sort of stuff for you. If you do have any feedback on this, or maybe something that wasn't clear, or actually it'd be really useful for us to know sort of before this webinar what wasn't clear to you, or, you know, what we could do better to make the experience of getting sort of launched with this easier for you. You will have got the invite to this webinar from my personal email. So my name's Chiara. So feel free to reply to my email, and I'll work through that, and that'll be really, really useful for us. Given that we've got this special webinar tool, have made a poll, and hopefully you guys will see this, with just, I think, 5 questions before we wrap up. It's all anonymous, just useful for us to know how useful this has been, and a few other things about you. So I'm going to click launch poll. Hopefully, have you guys seen, maybe someone can just mention in the chat if you've seen a pop-up with a poll that you guys can complete? Yes, thanks Clive. Amazing. So if you can just complete those questions for us, that'd be really helpful. It's obviously all anonymous. It'll just help us improve this next time if we do it again, and understand a little bit more about you guys.
Happy birthday, Chiara.
Sorry, I'm going to show you guys one more clip before we wrap up. This is really helpful. Thanks everyone filling this out. I can see it live. I can see there's a few people mentioning they're still not 100% sure on how to get started. So maybe feel free to drop me an email after this, and I can help answer any questions. Just to summarize, the main kind of I guess the main things that you need to do is to make one example video, one explainer video where you're sort of talking through what the product is for your customers. Get your unique link, so that's your profile link / gift, and you can also find it on the dashboard, and then share that around with your customers and on social media and all of that sort of thing. Those are the main elements to get the ball rolling. Amazing. So it looks like everyone's completed that now. That's so helpful. I'm just going to take a screenshot just in case it doesn't send me this. Hopefully it will. Of all the results. And then I thought, just before we sort of say goodbye and wrap up, I'll show you one more example video, seeing as that seemed to work. I'm just ending that poll. Great. And let me share my screen for the final time. We can enjoy. This was a message that I got. I'm totally biased. This is a video I got for my birthday from Sam, who's one of our singing pianists on the site. I told him I really love Hamilton and that it was my birthday and to do something fun. So for those of you who know Hamilton, hopefully you'll recognise this song. This is another great example of a personal music message for you guys.
Happy birthday, Chiara. Hope you have a lovely day, whatever you're up to. Probably not that much given the circumstances, but I hope this lifts your spirits. We'll be back soon, you'll see. Happy birthday, Miss Chiara. We'll be back, you and me, like we were before Corona. So raise a glass, shout and cheer as you welcome in another year. You're not alone, get on the floor, and we'll plan a celebration from the very comfort of your home. La 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 la. Happy birthday!
Cool. One of my favorites. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. Send us an email. You've got my email address. Let us know what you thought. Hope this was really helpful. And hopefully we'll do something like this again while we're all stuck at home. It's been so nice to be chatting with you guys and hear where you're all at and what you're doing. And yeah, have a lovely rest of your week. Bye, everyone.